And welcome to Tales from the Tips. I'm DA with 15-year Tour Caddy Mick Middlemo. We're just a couple guys that love to talk about the game of golf, both inside and outside the ropes, but we come at it from a different perspective. Mick,
Yes, sir.
how you doing, my friend?
Enjoying a nice early morning here in chilly Australia, but doing well. Got my breakfast.
You got your breakfast Diet Coke. Is this number 1 or number 2?
Number 1 of 3 for the day.
Number 1 of 3.
Sometimes 4.
Today, we're recording for me a Tuesday night, you Wednesday morning. I got an awesome text this morning saying, "Hey, I'm free to record. What are you going to do on your day off?"
Well, not play golf because it's windy, rainy, and not much of anything. So it could be a day on the couch, maybe some laundry, maybe a day on the couch and hanging out with Dad today. No work.
Yeah, I probably could say I didn't play much golf yesterday at the Tour Championship Media Day. Or I should say, Mick, I was consistently inconsistent.
And you didn't. And how was your caddy?
Chance. Oh, Chance was he was great for a 2-year caddy.
Very diplomatic.
Mick, you would be proud of me though.
Actually, do me a favor.
Yes.
And I want people to realize and understand this and understand caddy language. Talk me through the 9th hole and what your caddy said to you on the 9th hole. Was it the 18th hole? 18th hole.
Well, it was 18. He gave me a yardage. He gave me a yardage to the water, and I said, "Are you sure I'm not going to go in the water?" And he goes, "Nope, you should be good."
Okay, right there.
And guess what, Mick?
You went in the water.
I went in the water. Even the little turtle at the edge looked at me like, "Bro, that thing's gone."
Mm. So when a caddy says something to you like, "You should be okay," that is your first sign of he's not 100% sure, so that's not a good decision. As a caddy, if I had said that to a professional player, I may have been retired a lot earlier than I did.
Well, here's the thing. So I'm because you and I shared this with you in our pregame discussion of what occurred out there. I will say he saw the most inconsistent part of my golf game before giving me that yardage. Mick, I could tell you right now it was a tale of 2 rounds. We started out on the back at Eastlake. So we started, I was in a group on number 12. By the way, the rough, it's thick. Very thick.
Well, don't hit it in there.
I did it on 12. I did it on 13. 14, I actually hit a really good drive. I just got a little bit unlucky. I was in the first cut, which wasn't too bad. I hit a really good second approach shot, par 5 for those that have never been out to Eastlake. It's a par 5 for the members. For the tour guys, they play that as a long par 4. The problem with that hole, even with the redesign, is if you go any side of left of the center of the fairway, you will run into the rough. I hit Mick. I went driver 6-iron into the greenside bunker. For me, and you've played with me enough to know a par 5, me going driver 6-iron is short. I knocked up a good bunker shot and 2-putted and got out of there.
Easy, but this is a lesson to the listeners if they ever have a caddy. If a caddy sounds that he's not convinced, don't do it.
Yeah. I will.
It would be like me as a tour caddy saying to a player on a par 3 on a professional golfer said to me, "What do you think?" And I said, "Well, it's either 6 or 7." I'd probably get punched.
Don't do that.
You have to be 100% sure.
And if you're not, you have to make sure you got to make sure that they think that you're sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
Don't go, you should be okay is a very bad answer for a caddy. And as a player who has played a lot of golf, I probably should slap you in the back of the head if I was too close to you. If I was closer to you,
Yeah.
that should have been the warning signs should have gone off there.
Yeah.
But now
If you
you
would
know
have
it's a
been
learning
playing with
lesson.
me, you would have yelled at me yesterday.
Yes, I would have. Yes, no doubt.
I will say this though, you would have been proud on me on number 6. I had now that's the par 5 up the hill.
Yep.
I hit a beautiful drive to the left side of the fairway. I placed my ball perfectly there. And then my lovely caddy gave me a yardage of 225 uphill to the green.
Yeah, well, we know that's not a 4-iron.
It's not a 4-iron. Mick, guess what I decided to do?
Lay up.
I laid up to a number.
See? Makes me happy right there.
102. I hit a beautiful sand wedge in, just 10 feet off of the stick.
And two putted. Yeah, and two putted. But lesson be learned right there. Hang on, sorry. Lesson be learned right there that if you lay up, you will make par probably more times than if you go for the green in 2.
Well, I had you in my head, which that's a scary place to be.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, but I do want to thank Alex and the entire group out there at the Tour Championship for having us out there. Natalie asked how you were doing. She was sad to see that you had responded that you were unable to attend, and she asked if you were okay. And I said, "Oh, he's doing great. He's just not here. He's in a different country." And she went, "No," and I said, "Yes." So they asked if you were going to try to come back for next year, and I said, we are going to do everything we can to make sure you are back for Media Day and the final Tour Championship as it currently sits.
It's actually, well, yeah, I've got that. And don't I have a graduation, or is that the year after?
Oh, no, that's the year after.
Okay, yeah, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I have to get my calendar ready for that.
Yeah, you'll have to be back in May for that one.
That's fine.
Yeah,
that's good. All right, let's talk.
You will actually you'll be able to attend the oldest one's college graduation next year if you were back at that time. At this time,
man, I've got a lot to do. I can't keep taking these days off.
All right, we got a lot to do in this episode. So you ready for this? We've got
yes, sir.
We're going to start with the 3M Classic. World number 1 finishes
second for a change.
Second again. Congratulations to Jackson Koivun, his third official start on the PGA Tour. Now, Jackson has been able to play in some off of some sponsor exemption, so that wasn't technically his third only PGA Tour start. But Jackson Koivun wins in his third start. We head to Detroit for the final Rocket Mortgage Classic on the redesigned Detroit Golf Club. So we've got we'll talk about that. We'll give our picks for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. And Detroit is also in the news as Liv is being reported that they're going to cancel their last and final event of the season there at St. John's Golf Club in Northville, Michigan. Mick, that's a $40 million purse that the boys are losing out on.
Yeah, boring news. Move on. Live, dead, move on. Bryson can go back and play somewhere else. He can be playing pro-ams for all I care. Go away. Who cares, Liv?
Oh, man. Well, we're not going to touch on it, but I sensed a little nerve that we hit there. Jenny Shin goes wire to wire to win for the second time on the LPGA Tour. Mick, her last win? 2016.
Yeah.
The little 10-year drought.
A bit like the Cubbies on a 10-year drought.
Right. Jerry Kelly wins on the Champions Tour's final major of the season, holding off your good friend Cam Percy. Tommy Morrison wins the Evans Scholar Memorial Tournament on the Korn Ferry Tour. By the way, funny enough, he's winning down in the Chicagoland area. Jackson's winning up in the Minnesota area. Tommy and Jackson, Walker Cup partners this past year. So there you go. So We are going to also touch on why the PGA Tour is in great hands with the youth of
the youth of today.
And why the future is already here. So, Mick,
yes, sir.
Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. I've got my notes.
You got your notes.
Yeah.
Let's grip it and rip it. Okay. Well, we had everything up in Minnesota this past week. We had world number one competing up there, which was great for attendance, highest attendance for the 3M.
Yes, it helped.
It doesn't hurt to have Scotty Scheffler's name on that board. Doesn't hurt to have his name on the leaderboard either, as Scotty had one heck of a weekend, but he falls short to Jackson Koivun. Mick, do you know what Jackson was doing a couple months ago?
Not beating Scotty Scheffler.
No, he was winning NCAA championships for the Auburn Tigers and still in college.
Yeah, and now he's just come out and very, very impressive, by the way.
He came, well, yes, and before that, he had a phenomenal finish there at the U.S. Open to tie for Low-Am, and then proceeded to head to the John Deere. Now, his first start, missed the cut. However, since then, he has played some really good golf. He heads to Detroit, where we had another youngster on the tour, Aldrich Pockeater, last year. Mick, if you remember, won out there. So you're starting to see a trend here. Some of these lower tier tournaments, so to speak, are generating what we would call the future of the tour. I want to get your takeaways, your thoughts from the 3M.
Probably the most impressed I've been by a young player in a very, very long time. The composure, not rattled, just played solid golf, even when Scotty Scheffler was charging a little bit on the Sunday. I mean, that boy can play some golf. That was very, very impressive. As I said, it's been a long time since I've been so impressed by a young player. I've seen young players come out and win before and go, yeah, it was a win, but maybe caught lightning in a bottle on 1 week, and we've seen that with a few different players. But this kid's going to be here to stay. He can flat out golf his ball, and what a great demeanor he has. Yeah, very, very impressed.
You know what? Yes, because as the roars were going on around the golf course with Scotty making a charge, on Sunday, and I think, technology, such a wonderful thing. There it is. So Scotty shoots 64, 63 on the weekend. 63. He's charging up the leaderboard there on Sunday, and Jackson was as cool as the other side of the pillow, man.
Just making there's a Stuart Scott reference. Very good from the ESPN days.
There you go.
Very good.
I'll say this. I agree. The kid was just absolutely, the golf ball was hitting the center stripe of the fairway, except for on 18, but I think I will give him a pass on 18.
I'll give him a break on 18. He had a fair lead coming up 18. I'll give him a break. Give him a pass on that one.
I think if he really had to, I think he could hit his 8-iron further than his drive that day. 249 yards off the tee on that last one. But oh wow, so much fun to watch that. You just sit there and you look at these kids, though. It's fun to watch the young guys coming out now that are they're ready to go.
Yeah, they are. Well, they're so well groomed with college, and what they do, and I guess these teachers and stuff. They do pound out some good young players. But as I said before, I've seen a lot of good young players come out and catch lightning in a bottle and do things. But I think this kid's special. I think there's something about his game. He very much reminds me of like Jordan when Jordan Spieth first came out and he was, young and doing what he did. It reminded me very much of that. And I think he's going to have he's going to make some noise. That's for certain. Certainly down the stretch, he's going to make some noise.
Well, yeah, and I think you're on this. You sit there and you look at it. I mean, here, if you look at, let's call them some of the better players of our generation now. Obviously, you and I are crossing generations, but you look at how they started when they got their first wins. You ready for this? Ludwig Oberg, 16 starts. John Rahm, 17 starts. Rory McIlroy, 18 starts. Tiger Woods, 19 starts. Jordan Spieth, 24 starts. I mean, you have Nick Dunlap that won, just as he was getting out onto tour. You have amateurs.
Lightning in the bottle right there.
And you said that. Nick Dunlap won as an amateur. This guy named Phil Mickelson wins the Northern Telecom Open as a 20-year-old as an amateur. But you look at guys on their third start. Matt Wolff, Colin Morikawa, by the way, just his sixth professional start, won the Barracuda Championship. And then you've got Jackson Koivun winning this one. Did you know, though, that Adrien Dumont Desessart won in 2023 the BMW Charity Pro-Am on his very first start on the Korn Ferry Tour?
It was probably a 7-hour round of golf with him playing.
Ben Crenshaw, have you heard him?
Yeah, he goes okay.
Robert Gamez.
Ugh, please, move on.
And then most recently, Rose Zhang, as she came out of she won the Mizuho Americas Open in her very first LPGA start. So
look at you doing your homework today.
You know what? I for some reason I was even texting you about this episode last week.
Yes, you did.
I'm looking at I was just so impressed with, because you and I were very critical last week on the podcast about the lineup, so to speak. The players that were playing out there.
It was a crappy field.
But
and you still got to win. And I thought Scotty would win by 10.
Right. You still have to go out and play. You still have to go golf your golf ball, as you would say. And it's not just a given, even though Scotty was there at the end. But we had everything. We had a 59 on Friday. We had guys shooting 62s, 61s. I mean, Jackson Koivun jumps up into the lead. He shoots 61 on Saturday.
59, and then backed it up with the average. The average score of players that shoot 59 in the next round.
No.
Of all the people who shot 59, the average round they shoot in the next round is 69, and I think he may have shot 70 the next round.
Did he shoot 69 or did he shoot 70 the next day?
I think he shot 70.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's very close to the 59-70. What most people do when they shoot 59.
Well, it is hard to
back up. To go back to back.
Yes, you if anyone knows this, you've seen it more times than not out there. There were some guys that they had a really good tournament. You're looking at it. It's good to see Michael Kim back in there. Hideki Matsuyama had a really good.
Now, what about this week coming up? I don't know nothing about this golf course. You're from the Detroit area. Well, not from there. But
I mean, I have been fortunate. I had a boss in Detroit, Bill Neinstead, that was and is a member at the Detroit Golf Club. I was fortunate to go out a couple times out there. It's Mick. It's a very traditional Donald Ross design, tight fairways.
You threw a little emphasis on was then.
Well, last year, if you remember, as soon as the boys were putting out on 18,
they were digging
the course was being ripped apart with bulldozers. Mostly, obviously to change, the drainage system that's out there. Listening to a couple of guys talking about it, the drainage was still out there from 1927. They were still using the same drainage system from 1927. So
Well,
again,
congratulations to the people who did the draining system in 1927 that lasted this long. Congratulations. Great work.
right,
Great work,
100
gentlemen.
years worth of work. From that standpoint, it again, it will those golf courses for this level of these players, they tear it apart. I think we've seen 27, 28, mid 20s win this tournament. No different than when we were up at Warwick. The tour guys will eat this place apart. The challenge for the everyday player out there is knowing where to place and position your golf ball, because there were a lot of dog legs. The greens are very small, tight bunkers around them. Now, Detroit Golf Club is a beautiful old golf course. I know you would have loved playing out there. Reminded me a lot of the course I grew up working on and playing on, Warren Valley. You've got it's flat. There's not a lot of elevation out there. I think I heard the superintendent say that there is maybe 5 degrees of elevation total from front to back of the property.
Oh, nice. Flat. Good flat course.
Good flat course. Sad that Rocket's pulling out. They opted not to. Now, not a surprise from the business side. The former CMO of Rocket left. And I know Casey really well. He is a diehard sports fan. Anything that you see Rocket Mortgage attached to in the sports world was probably because of Casey Herbis. So to see a new CMO come in and want to change it, sad, because you're taking away from the city and the foundations and all the stuff. And personally, yeah, as a Detroiter, a native Detroiter, sad to see a PGA Tour event leave. Hopefully they can find another title partner, maybe one of the automakers who charge way too much for their cars these days can step up and pick up a sponsorship. Ooh. Maybe once again.
A little dig along the way there too. I like that.
Yeah. But sad to see that. And then sad to see, I grew up not far from St. John's Golf Club. I remember when they built that golf course. So to see the almost formerly known as Live Tour pull the plug on its final. Now, it's not official, supposedly, and it's being reported by some pretty credible news sources. On Wednesday, probably sometime in the afternoon for you, Mick, the announcement will come out that they are canceling the $40 million purse final tournament. So I guess no team champion this year, Mick.
Good. I'd rather talk about reruns of Friends than Live Golf.
So let me ask you this though: what happens, because clearly this starts falling into breach of contract? What happens with John Rahm? What happens with some of the top guys that you would want to see back over? Joaquin Neiman. Lucas. What happens to Lucas? Now, he says he doesn't want to come back. Is he just going to go back to the DP World Tour?
Probably.
I mean,
I'd say. I mean, they made their bed, line it. I have no sympathy for these guys if they can't come back and play. None. They knew the risk. They knew what they were doing. They've been paid very, very well. They're probably compensated enough to take care of them for the rest of their lives. So move on. Okay, if you didn't want to play golf on the PGA Tour, okay, the PGA Tour can live without you. I can assure you, they will. Oh, no pun intended with the live without you. But they can. The PGA Tour is going to go on without these guys, and they made their decisions, and they made financial decisions based on their needs and what they wanted. Congratulations to them for making their money. Obviously, a great business decision. The game is a business these days. It is definitely about that. Some people don't want to treat it as a business. They want to treat it because they want the trophies and stuff like that, like the Scotties and the Rorys and stuff. And I love that. I'm more passionate about that than the guys who go, okay, well, now I've got $200 million in the bank. Well, that's a great family decision for them. They've set their families up for generations. Congratulations to them. They made that decision. The PGA Tour is not going to miss them.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, your favorite drafts are poured at a frosty 29 degrees, and rare barrel-aged whiskeys are served just the way you want them. It's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hit a home run for happy hour and ask your Twin Peaks girl about local specials on drafts, cocktails, shots, and more.
Yeah. Before we move ahead, for the Rocket, you ready? Here. Let me.
I've already got my pick. I know.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
Russell Henley.
You're going with
The Georgia boy.
Bulldog.
Georgia.
The Atlanta guy. Let me just, you got Cam Young, Xander Schauffele, Chris Gotterup, Siwoo Kim, Wyndham Clark, Patrick Cantlay, Jackson Koivun, Russell Henley, Ben Griffin, JJ Spawn, Hideki, Jake Knapp, Michael Thor Bjornsson, by the way, another young golfer, Akshay Bhatia, Ricky Fowler, Keegan Bradley, Harris English, Jacob Bridgman are your really rounding out. This is courtesy of DraftKings, by the way. That's your favorites.
Another free plug. I can't use DraftKings over here.
What? You're restricted?
Yes, restricted.
Is there any one that you can use?
Oh, is there?
Okay.
Have you met me?
Yes. I know you have even mentioned it on this podcast that you've placed a wager here or there on certain people.
I only wagered with days that end in Y. Russell Henley. And I can let's have a look at the odds on Russell Henley. Let me go to a website.
He is plus 2,700.
Well, see, I don't understand. Your plus 2,700 is just, no one understands that plus 2,700.
Cam Young is plus 960.
Golf.
So basically 10.
Let's have a look at Russell. What did you say Russell Henley was? Yes, plus
2,700.
Yes, 26 to 1, basically. Yes, put $1 on, get back 26 for the mathematicians out there. Cameron Young is the favorite.
Cam Young is the favorite. Way too easy of a layup. We already did a layup last week. I liked the way that this guy was playing last week. I am going with Hideki Matsuyama.
Ooh, let's have a look at Hideki's odds. 26 plus, as well.
Yeah. Well, I've got him at plus 3,200, but
well, better odds than what
all the same between Cantlay, Koivun, Henley, Griffin, JJ Spawn, Knapp, Hideki. Yeah.
Trying to find someone at long odds to give the folks a little chance and think there's something good here.
So interesting that Brooks dropped out this week. He is still suffering from that hand injury. So he is not playing. By the way, he sits currently in 84th in the FedEx Cup race 2. And you remember in a couple weeks, top 70 make the playoffs. We got this week and next week, the Wyndham. Jason Day also is going to be there next week. Jay Day is sitting at 74th. Jackson Koivun with that win. Mick in his third start is sitting 70th. How do you like that?
We'll probably make the Tour Championship.
If he wins again.
Yeah, a couple big finishes.
Couple big finishes.
He could be right up there.
Here's some of the names.
Here, go on.
Here's some of the names chasing. You ready? So obviously Brooks is at 84. Steven Yeager at 79. Tom Hoagie, who's the usual regular, 77. Keegan Bradley at 76. Jason at 74. Give you another guy, Tony Finau, 87th.
Yeah, he's not playing well enough.
Andrew Novak, 88. Lucas Glover, 92.
Been playing very well in the first 3 rounds of events.
At some point, You got to win either this week or next, and you're out.
I tell you what, he's been playing beautifully for 3 rounds. The last round he hasn't been playing well, so it's going to hold him in good stead when he goes to the Champions Tour.
Who's that?
Lucas Glover.
Yeah. By the way, how did we not talk about that? Did you see Lucas's little protest, shall we call it?
No, I didn't see his protest. What was he protesting about?
So, Mick, on the 10th hole, Lucas rolled a very nice putt, left it just outside. He walked to the edge of the green and took off his shoes, and then walked and tapped his putt in. Now, everybody at that point, especially all the crazies out on social media, thought it was his disdain for aim point. No, what it came to light was that a group or groups behind him had complained because do you know what Lucas still uses?
Spikes.
Metal spikes.
So does Jackson Koivun.
And they were complaining that it was messing up, causing some issues for him.
You're allowed to tap down spike marks. So what does it matter?
That was his Lucas's response was
they're good and good response too from a one.
3 times he said it in his statement. It's okay to tap down spike marks.
Yeah, well, he's a great man. He's a great fella too. So
I love him.
But I did notice Jackson Koivun. I did notice Jackson Koivun was wearing spikes as well.
Yeah, I'd love to see a renovation, a revitalization of the metal
me
spikes.
too. There's nothing better than walking to the clubhouse and hearing the metal spikes on the side. Oh, yeah, I love the clinking of the metal spikes.
Click. Yeah, you stomp your feet, the grass falls out of them. Yeah, nothing like
ever. Yeah, let's bring back the metal spikes. Let's get after it.
I will say this: I
actually think they're better anyway because those bloody other things, they can make the greens worse with just bumps and lumps, and especially when you see them at Pebble Beach and places like that, the soft greens. Oh, it's like walking on the moon with all the craters they leave everywhere. Never liked them. Hated them.
Here's interesting. You know who's sitting on the bubble at 100?
Who?
Lee Hodges. Do you know who's at 99? Your pick from last week, Max Grazerman.
Yeah, Max is struggling a little bit.
I would have lost that had you said.
Yeah,
Max Grazerman is in the top 70, top 50, top 30, top 100. I would have been like top 50.
Struggling, Maxie boy.
A good friend of mine, that I've had a chance to meet a couple times, Christian Bezadenhout, 91.
Well, some boys have got some moving to do in the next couple of weeks, so that's what this is about. And this is what makes this so exciting down the stretch.
That is what it is.
Play well or not.
We'll see who makes the moves this week, and then next week when we chat, we will be discussing who we think will make it and who we think won't.
In other big news,
yes,
I had a phone call about. I was speaking to a former player that I caddied for, did a little bit of work in my past life. Yesterday, we were having a bit of a chat. An Aussie boy asked me if I would caddy for him in the Australian Open this year.
You're back.
The answer, I had to give him the answer of no.
What?
I won't. I'll be in the US, most likely.
No.
Yeah.
Mick.
Yeah. I'll most likely be in America at that stage. I've got to come back for a few weeks. Yeah, I've got to come back for a few weeks and do some things. Yeah, do some things. So there's every chance that that won't be happening.
Dad, I'm calling Dad. He has got to keep you there. You have to caddy.
No, I'll probably be back in the US.
Film.
Yeah, and I'll probably be back in the US at that stage. So.
Oh, our big chance.
A big chance to come out of retirement has been nixed.
We could have had it. We would have been back. I would have toured around with you. We would have gotten a sponsor on an RV.
What a wonderful golf course it is too, by the way, Kingston Heath.
I would have come and flown. I would have come to Australia.
No, you wouldn't have. Your family, your wife wouldn't have allowed that. She would have vetoed that. She would have knocked that on the head. Knowing you're coming to see me, she would have knocked that on the head.
Wait, what weekend is that?
Second to the 6th of December.
I can't make it.
No, it's my birthday too. So,
well, it is your birthday, which that would even be better. But I can't make it. See? I got a big football game that weekend.
Oh, let me guess, Michigan, Ohio State.
No, that's the weekend before.
Michigan State.
No, that's October.
Michigan who? Oh, no. That will be Detroit versus Atlanta.
Atlanta Falcons and the
well, guess who'll be there with you?
Detroit Lions.
Well, guess who'll be there with you?
You.
See?
I can't wait. I
bet you Porcello will be there too.
James is going to be in the building that day. We have already talked about it. We're trying to figure out where we can strategically place ourselves. Obviously, in my current role, I am unavailable to be cheering on the Honolulu Blue and Silver because I will be hosting guests in our luxury box.
Yes, I've been there many times. I like that luxury box.
You do. You like that one. But I will have you there. I think I might force Parla to go just so that so Becky can go as well. So that will be fun because I'm going to have to endure all those people when the Bears come into town in October. The Bears.
Yes, you will. Yeah, I know. It's another one.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
So you haven't given me your pick yet, have you?
Yes, I said Hideki.
Oh,
Hideki.
yeah, he doesn't count.
Okay. You ready for this? You want to know why I think the future is here? You ready for this? Okay. Let me pull up my little thing here. I got this. Oh, that's Jerry. Oh, but yeah, I did want to ask you the IPSA handy, the Senior Open.
I don't want to talk about it. It was very depressing.
Why? Why do you not want to talk about it?
Because I wanted my boy to win.
Well, I know you wanted him to win, and he was playing really well.
He did play well.
I just wanted to get your. I wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Good tournament, but Jerry Kelly, when he gets a sniff, is a very hard man to beat.
Yeah, Jerry's had a tough year. He's been battling some injuries. I will say this.
When he's in the hunt,
that Jerry won, but I was disappointed that Cam came runner up.
Yeah, but when he's in the hunt, Jerry Kelly's a hard man to beat.
Yeah, Australia did pretty well here in the last 2 Opens.
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. Let me see where I've got this. There, that's not the sheet.
You better hurry up.
Why? You got somewhere? Oh,
no, we're running out of time.
We're not running out of time. Did you hear, Mick? The first new sponsorship for the championship series was announced today.
No, because I was probably sleeping.
Yes, Sampo. For
Never
those
heard of
that
it.
don't know what Sampo is, it's a wine. They are the sponsor of the Full Field PGA Tour event beginning in 2027. They will host it, Mick, at the Silverado Resort North Course out in Napa, California.
Well, I was going to say it's going to be a Napa event if it's sponsored by wine.
Right. Well, but then it will eventually, I think in the next coming weeks, they will announce once the 28 schedule comes out where that tournament's going to land. It's going to land in a major market eventually.
It's going to make a lot of players happy that they get sponsored by red wine. I can assure you. There's a lot of red wine drinkers on the red wine circuit out there on the PGA.
I have a feeling
not so much the caddies.
Yeah, not
there's a few of them. Fooch likes his red wine.
These new caddies these days, Mick.
Scotty Vale
they're not
likes
like
his
you.
red
They're
wine.
not beer drinkers.
Yeah, see. Well, no, there's a few red wine. No, there's a few red wine drinkers out there. I know Eric Larson likes his reds. Fooch likes
red
his
wine
reds.
got you in trouble.
Yeah. It's not good. Red wine and no bueno me. Red wine not happening.
Yeah, that set you on a bad path.
Yeah, no. But beer and Jameson, stick with
it. Right. So interesting to see what will come out of that. Nice to see that the tour made that announcement. No, what I wanted to talk about is some of these young kids that are coming up, and I just want to give you the top 10 men's amateur rankings right now. I guarantee you, not only will you know some of these names, you've already seen them out on tour. Preston Stout, Tyler Watts, Tyler Weaver, Luke Poulter. Have you heard of him?
Yeah, you guys are right. Son of
William Jennings, Ethan Fang, this kid, Miles Russell, Josiah Gilbert, Ryder Cowan, and Tim Weidemer. Mick
from Germany, Tim Weidemer, the German player.
Yes, he is, and this is courtesy of the World Amateur Golf Rankings.
Josh Gilbert, good Aussie boy.
What's that?
Josh Gilbert, good Aussie boy.
Yeah, Josiah. Yeah,
Josiah Gilbert.
Josiah. He's yes. So again, I know that there was panic
very
in.
Good basketballer too, by the way.
What's that?
He's a very good basketballer too, by the way.
He's a multi-sport athlete, then, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did the news make it there to Australia? Did you hear where King James is going?
Oh yeah, it wouldn't make the news here. Move on. I'd rather talk about Liv.
Well, I have to deal with him now in the East. So
overrated, too old, hack.
Yeah, I don't. I don't think I'll have to deal with him.
He's going to play till he's 50 because he's going to play till he's 50 because he likes hearing about himself. Move on. Exactly.
So, what else we got?
Nothing.
I think that's it.
I was just looking at Josiah because Josiah's a good Aussie boy. His father actually runs one of the golf courses out there in Prattville, Alabama, Capitol Hill.
Really?
See? I'm just a plethora of information today.
You are loaded, sir.
Plethora. I like studying up on the Aussie boys.
Here's a couple other, and we touched on it. Ludwig Oberg is 26. Tom Kim, 24. Akshay Bhatia, 24. Nick Dunlap, 22. Aldrich Pocketer, 21. Luke Clanton, 22. Michael Thor Bjornsson, 24.
Yeah.
Jackson Koivun, 21.
See, the good thing about being that young is they're not scared right now. They're young.
And that was
they don't have any fear. No fear. They haven't developed the yips yet.
Well, they haven't been burned
yet.
Yeah. But I again, I'm going to echo what you said. That kid played with ice in his veins.
There's been a lot of young players that came out showing a lot of talent, but they can get burnt out very, very quickly. Sometimes things don't last forever. Jordan Spieth, Justin Thomas. Move on.
Wow.
Well, they're slumping. They're slumping.
I gotta go do some work on my game, Mick. I chipped well though.
I've played once I've had one game of golf in 4 months.
That's unacceptable.
I know. It's cold. I'm not ready. It'll happen.
I've got a couple rounds coming up. Looking forward to defending our championship at ABAC in a couple of weeks. And then, Mick, we got back to school next week here in the good state of Georgia. I'm back to traffic.
Yeah, you are. That's what I do on a daily basis, except today.
Yeah. So, well, next week, Mick, we talk about the last regular season tournament of the season.
Good golf course, too, except for the 18th hole. Don't like the 18th hole.
Here we go.
We've discussed that before. It's a bad hole.
We could just recycle that episode from last year and just call it a day at this point.
Good golf course, though.
We'll have some fun. Thanks for teeing up with us on Tales from the Tips. If you're catching us on YouTube, make sure you give us a like, hit that subscribe button, drop us a comment, let us know how we're doing. You can find every episode of Tales from the Tips wherever you find your favorite podcasts. That's Apple, Spotify, YouTube, and now we are available on iHeart Podcasts. That's right. Just search under Tales from the Tips under podcast, hit the plus button, subscribe, and enjoy. You can catch us on all the socials, Mick. Instagram,
TikTok.
X, and your favorite?
TikTok.
That's right. The TikTok for Mick. And you can watch Mick and I live every time we go live on Twitch. And now we are available on YouTube Live. Thank you to all the people that I can see on the screen that have tuned in this week. We appreciate
Probably
it.
Chris
That is
Portney.
the unedited version of
Probably
the
Chris
podcast.
Portney. He's probably right there.
Yes, Chris is on. Chris did send a text into the text line.
I did get that. After
Yes.
And by the way, thanks for stealing. He stole my golf partner. He's stolen Greg Elliott from me. He stole my golf partner.
He stole your golf partner.
Yep, that's the
What do you
rumor.
mean? I'm his golf
That's it.
partner.
Well, you better check this out. There's been some movement.
There's some changes.
I think there's changes been made. Anyway, it's not true. That's only because they're playing in the member.
Shared that with me.
Well, they're playing in the member, but I just like teasing them.
Oh, they're playing in the member. Well, you weren't a member.
No,
you were going to play in the member guest. Like I am.
I was wounded.
Well, that was last year.
Yeah, I was wounded.
You're back.
Sort of.
Should be caddying in
I'm not.
December.
Nah.
Make sure you follow us on YouTube. We drop all of our shorts and extra content there. And ladies and gentlemen, get out there, play some golf, have fun, enjoy it, keep your drive straight, your putt short, and your scores low. We'll see you next time as we tee it up on Tales from the Tips. We're out of here.